The BRICS summit at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil has unanimously deplored all forms of terror. A statement issued by the summit condemned Pahalgam terror attack in unambiguous terms. This actually is a victory for India. India had took initiative in drafting a resolution and issuing the statement. Actually, this marks or opens a new chapter in the fight against terrorism. The victory of India lies in the fact that now many countries are not interested in connecting terrorism with other issues. Till date, when India raised the issue of terrorism in Kashmir, supporters of Pakistan and including even the United States often linked separatism in Kashmir or terrorism in Kashmir with other issues like human rights or self-determination right, etc. But now the world is not ready to, sync all those issues together. We need to remember that in this Rio de Janeiro summit, BRICS summit, Muslim countries, like Iran, United Arab Emirates, then Egypt, Indonesia, etc. were there. So definitely this is a victory for India. Even China, which is one of the leading members of BRICS, didn't oppose. So clearly this is a diplomatic win for India. Earlier, whenever India fought against terror or whenever India thwarted Pakistan moves to bifurcate, to, attack Kashmir, India had not followed it up with, a diplomatic drive. But this time, India didn't make that mistake. So the credit needs to go to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Of course, we need to give due credit to Mr. Shashi Tharoor MP, who did the groundwork, because he went to Russia before the BRICS summit, then he went to Brazil also before the BRICS summit. So he prepared the ground and he played a key role in convincing world leaders about the gravity of the situation, about the dangers posed by terrorism. Let's take a closer look into the resolution and what happened at the BRICS summit. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. As I said, the statement against terrorism or the resolution against terrorism and the resolve taken at the meeting to fight terrorism turns a new leaf. For example, the new developments at the BRICS summit included, blocking all types of terror funding. This is very important. Again, the BRICS nations took an oath to prevent allowing safe havens for terror groups in their countries. So these are, I think, two important developments. Fight against terror will be meaningless if a country is unable to block the financial source of terror groups. This is the first and foremost thing which needs to be done when a country fights terrorism. Terror is not fought just with rifles or other bombs or helicopters or missiles. Terror should be fought by blocking terror funding. So this is what the lifeline of terror groups. You need to block that. You need to dry up the sources. Then only fight against terrorism will win. So BRICS countries took a firm decision to stop terror funding and to prevent or to block all channels that provide funds to terror groups. This is a great achievement, no doubt about that. The second aspect is safe havens. There are many neutral countries in the world that provide safe havens to terror groups. In several countries, leaders of terror groups live peacefully and there they are safe, but at the same time they connive against many other countries living in the safety of neutral countries, and it should not be allowed. So this BRICS summit took a very significant decision not to allow these safe havens of terror groups to thrive. I feel this is also a great achievement for India. So it means, though India cannot prevent, leaders of terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed living in Pakistan, but at the same time, now Pakistan cannot admit before the whole world that they have allowed these people to live there. Then let's go come into the another aspect of terrorism. Earlier when India complained about terror activities in Kashmir, there was a habit to connect terror, the India's complaint, with complaints of human rights violations in Kashmir, then right of self-determination, etc. But nobody was bothered about the human rights of Hindus in Kashmir. They only spoke about the human rights of Muslims in Kashmir Valley. They were never bothered to discuss issues, faced by Kashmiri Pandit community who have been driven out of valley. Several lakh Kashmiri Pandits were driven out of the valley. But whenever India raised the issue of terrorism in Kashmir, India's enemies often raised those issues and thwarted India's moves. But things have changed at present. Nobody is willing to buy such arguments. No country is now connecting such issues with terror issues, because even Muslim majority Gulf countries know very well that terrorism actually poses a danger to them also. Terrorism might have begun as a fight against infidels, especially in Kashmir, but all nations have realized that eventually it would assume a different color. Eventually it would turn against those who provides indirect and direct support to them. So people are not willing to support any form of terrorism now. This is actually a great achievement. Even though China was there, China is Pakistan's best friend. China is the country that supports Pakistan with weapons, with its clout in international arena, or whenever some issue is taken up by the Security Council of the United Nations or the UN, it is China that always comes to the support of Pakistan. But this time, even when China was present at the BRICS, China has not been able to do anything to, thwart a unanimous resolution against terrorism, or the statement deploring Pahalgam terror attack. So I think this is clearly a diplomatic win for India. In that way, the BRICS summit this time will be remembered for taking, categorical decision against terrorism. Now, if you look into the work done by India, as I said earlier, there was a lot of groundwork was done by India. Before the BRICS summit, Indian Special Envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. Shashi Tharoor, went to Russia. He went to other countries also. So he created an atmosphere conducive for this movement or for this fight against terrorism. I think India needs to take forward the fight against terrorism from this resolution. This resolution needs to be implemented in its word and spirit. For that, India needs to, keep up pressure. Otherwise, if we reduce the pressure, what will happen is that many countries will take it lightly, and terror groups will again raise their hoods. This is an enemy which needs to be fought constantly. The fight against terror does not end quickly. It will take some time. I hope India has actually made a first step. I hope India will take forward this fight to its logical end. Anyway, this BRICS summit is clearly a success for India, and India needs to learn or lessons from this and to improve its success. Meet you with updates. Till then, Goodbye.